Happy birthday, Aries. I suppose that for most of you, you have already celebrated your birthday, and for some others, you're celebrating right now or very soon. And I think that this is a very transformative month for Aries. You are the first sign of the zodiac, and it has its reasons. You are the beginners. You are the starters. You are the ones who have always that fire and that energy that we need. That spark. That is like that first impulse that we need to start a cycle in our life, to be born. Because when we are in Aries season, we're talking about being born or being reborn. We went from a very heavy 2020. I mean, it looks quite obvious. No matter from what part of the world you could see this. Many things had been changing, or they are starting to change. And we entered in a new era already. And now when we are getting in your season during the month of April is when we have that final push. And Aries, we have an stellium of planets during your season, counting a new moon in your sign, which is your first house, your identity, how you consciously see yourself, Aries. It's like Venus, Mercury, a new moon, the sun. I mean, it's a lot of influences in just one house, in your house. And we have a new moon in your sign by the 11th, 12th of April. So a lot of things are gonna be in a closure regarding your identity, how you see yourself. You don't see yourself anymore in the same way, Aries, and you know that. Now the sun is shining on that part of your chart where it's telling you, you know, it's like something here, it's being renewed. Even maybe this could even touch your physical aspect. Something that is very obvious, it's almost like it becomes so clear, so transparent. So we start heavy, I mean, for you with this very intense but amazing energy, beautiful energy, having Venus also in your sign. You know, you're attracting many opportunities here, Aries, and I think you need to start seeing these opportunities. And then when we go to the third week of April, when we start Taurus season, we're gonna have a full moon in your 8th house, Scorpio. A Scorpio full moon. Transformation. The full circle coming here during this month, Aries. Something really new is brewing for you, and I think you had been preparing yourself for it, but I don't think that you were ready to start until now. This is the exact push we need, like that push that we need. It's almost like the gate is not just open, but we are being able to see the light behind it so that we can really follow the road without, you know. It's like things are coming so much clearer. so much clearer. Because also when you have a new moon in your sign, and we're talking about your season here and Venus being in your first house as well, with Mercury, I mean, Gemini energy here with the lovers coming in your present situation, you know that you are in a crossroads in your life, Aries. You are in a very decisive moment of your life. When the lovers that comes in tarot, we're not just here talking about your relationships, because this first house, yeah, is talking about you and your own identity, the concept of yourself, Aries. But in a way also as it touches and as it reflects in other people that are very near you. It's like almost like this crossroads where you are like taking me here, probably new path, a new way of seeing yourself, a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling, a new way of, it's almost this change of identity I think you're experiencing right now is taking you to also experience your relationships in a very different way. Maybe there is a special connection right now in your life that's gonna be coming out of the light during this month, and it's almost like gonna be a momentum of all or nothing. That's the vibe I'm getting for you here, Aries. It's like this month of propulsion to really go into this new path, to choose here something where you know, Aries, that it's also aligned to yourself, and this is new identity you are starting and you have been creating and working hard on. And then suddenly when you start feeling this change and this transformation, and I think that definitely this is a subject that I wouldn't be surprised to see the Death card coming during this reading. Really not. An important realization regarding yourself is taking you to have to take a decision, probably as well, regarding your love connections and maybe even partnership connections here, Aries. Something here is coming out of the darkness. And when we are entering in Taurus, and there is gonna be this full moon in Scorpio in the 8th house, opposing Page of Swords, opposing at that time, by the end of April, it's gonna be opposing your second house. Second house is Taurus, and then it's when we end by the 19th, 20th of April is when we enter in Taurus season, so the sun moves to Taurus, and there is gonna be a conjunction between Mercury, Venus, the sun. Very intense here, this house, by the end of April, and for most certainly the beginning of May. Is also the house where you have Uranus since since we ended 2020. Uranus is transiting Taurus and it's gonna stay there for quite some time. And it's that square between Uranus and in Taurus and Saturn in Aquarius, like these clashes between Uranus and Saturn that are very heavy in astrology. It's gonna be the main subject that we're gonna have through all this year. No? Because it's like this big pulse of tension that are the main focus of the game of you know, how everything is being, no? How things are moving. This tension between wanting to keep the old and going for the new, and trying to put here new boundaries or break some boundaries as well. So this month is, I think that you know that you are in search of new information. Page of Swords. You're in search of maybe needing to analyze here something or a situation that requires from you to be very curious and find some important information. Or you know that somebody is doing this right now because of this decision. Nine of Swords. I think that this decision and where you're entering during this month, even though I think that you're starting to see all these opportunities, Aries, I think that you're still quite stressed and a lot in your mind about what this decision might mean or what maybe this connection might mean in your life. It's almost I feel that I'm talking here to an Aries that is looking at the situation or to this situation from afar and trying to understand what this new idea, what this maybe decision could mean without talking directly about it. Because that's the energy of the Page of Swords. Is he doesn't say things straightforward. He's a little bit more immature in communication. It's, you know, and it's coming here with this Nine of Swords. So something here is needing to be expressed, but it's not yet being expressed or not directly. And I think that this is causing some fears or it's causing some mental struggles because you know that this idea you're having right now, it might mean a change in path, a very important change in your life. It's like going into a complete different direction and you know that you have the choice here. You're having to choose something very important, and this could be related to your career and what you're doing in your life, even maybe your home environment. I mean, your ruling planet Mars is gonna be in your 4th house, transiting your 4th house, Aries. So there is gonna be probably a lot of things going on regarding an action needing to be taken regarding your home environment, 4th house. Or there are some decisions that are gonna be quite determined regarding this decision you are taking right now. What is coming? It could be regarding a relationship that you know you're in a moment where you're needing maybe to take a path here, or you're trying to get some information because you know that there is a decision that it's soon being taken here. And I think that this is what is stressing you out. What is coming in the obstacle, please, for Aries? Having a full moon in Scorpio in the 8th house, this is a time for truth. It's not a time, it's like, it's really not a time for you, and I don't think you're living it at all as Aries right now. Aries is not playing. Even though you have all this energy and you're starting to feel the push, Aries, you know that you're not playing around here. You are taking things quite seriously because I think that there is a truth here that in a way I sense is kind of maybe being revealed to you during this month about yourself. And probably this is kind of affecting as well your relationship, or maybe one particular relationship you have in your life. And that could mean massive change, no? Transformation. It's like the truth many times when it comes, it's almost like, it can be harsh, because even if it's a truth that we expected or we wanted, or, it kind of, at some point cannot, it's like, sometimes can be harsh to accept that truth. To maybe look at things for really what they are and how we feel about them. But that's the energy of a Scorpio during April. And that it's almost like this truth is undeniable. And so when we're trying to kind of like put it at the back of our mind and not really, is when we get into this. When we just start blocking ourselves and mentally entering in a spiral of thoughts and negativity that doesn't really allow us maybe to see with clarity this moment of transcendation, but really almost like accepting that you're not seeing yourself anymore in the same way. So because of it, you're not able to see the people near you in the same way neither, maybe here, Aries. What is coming in the obstacle for Aries, please? What is coming in the obstacle for Aries? Yeah, your values are changing. The Hangman is in your obstacles. So definitely what has been a real problem here is the sense of feeling that things were not moving forward. Feeling that things were stuck. Probably communication wasn't really there, or there was a sense of distance here in the situation, whatever the situation might mean to you. This is just a general reading, so I cannot speak for every Aries or every person who's watching this video right now, but I imagine you already know that. The Hangman coming in the obstacle, I mean the sense of distancing, or not being like something here is being blocked, something here is not moving as fast as you want it, Aries. And all the planets are moving direct, and you definitely, Aries, this month, you are on fire. You are really on fire. And all this Mercury energy and Venus energy and new moon, and it's so touching you. So much. And then having this full moon opposing Taurus with Uranus and all these planets transiting in April, and by the end of April, is almost also questioning your own values here and your own self-worth. And so you come from a time where I think that you had been a lot reflecting regarding these changes, the Death card in the back. These changes that you had to experience and that you are definitely experiencing right now. It's almost like you don't see yourself anymore in the same way, and you cannot see your work, your environment, like what you want to do, what you consider valuable in the same way anymore. And so when we enter in this kind of energies, Aries, even though we're starting to know more with clarity what we want, it can be difficult to take that step forward and take that decision. So we might feel at some moments stuck, and maybe feeling that we cannot really yet take that step, when actually in the inside and our mind and our heart is telling us that maybe this is the moment to look at the situation and understand that there is something here that needs to move. What is coming in the environment for Aries, please? 10 of Wheel of Fortune. Definitely the change. In your environment, there is a massive change that it doesn't depend on you, Aries, but is influencing you. A change that brings fortune, it brings something really positive, but it might also mean almost in this surprise level. I mean, I gotta say, like Uranus in Taurus with Venus, I mean, maybe even changes regarding your career, and as I said, maybe how you earn your resources. It's like suddenly you're starting to realize here that you're having the possibility to do something maybe as a job or as something that you do to get maybe a talent or skill that you're studying. It's like you're starting to see it or consider it as valuable to earn your own resources, Aries, in a way that it changed drastically the way you approach yourself to your work, to your routine life as well, and yeah, important values that maybe they look even quite new to yourself. But you know that you need to follow here, even though the change, even though the first possible chaos, because you know the Wheel of Fortune is telling me something here is happening almost unexpected. Like it's coming, like the wheel is turning from one moment to the other, and it's almost like Aries, you're feeling that in one moment you were in this situation, and then suddenly you were here in like 0.6 seconds. But this is almost like a destined or a, it's like something that happens that in the moment that happens you don't even, it's like you are even surprised about it, but at the same time suddenly you are like, oh, actually this makes sense. It's just that maybe until now I wasn't able to see it, and now it's almost like my eyes are helping me out to see this with a complete different perspective. What is coming in the hopes and fears? I said I wouldn't be surprised that the death card wanted to come in this reading, and is coming in your hopes and fear, Aries. I'm even having difficulties here to, this is really what you want this year. I mean, this year, but like this month. You're being reborn. You're being transformed. You want this change. And this is telling me that this is not just, you know, the death card is not just about change. Like, I mean, you have two major arcanas here in the tarot that represent change, but in very different ways. The death card, it's a very deep in transformation that brings at the same time changes to the environment and the exterior. It's really like you are arriving here to the end of a path. You're wanting to come to a closure of a cycle of your life. Put an end to a situation that I think that you have been feeling stuck for some time, Aries. Because I'm almost feeling that something here, it's almost like what I'm feeling is that something here is not fating you any longer. And also at the same time, you're having the opportunity to realize what actually is really fitting you with your new self. I mean, and that all that construction that you had been building until right now. You want this, but Aries, this is also what you are really scared of. You're scared of this decision. You're scared of this change. You're scared of taking maybe this new path. And you know, I mean, I'm talking to Aries. You are the warriors of the zodiac. But you know that with certain subjects, when we're talking about this kind of heavy energy, that you know it means radical transformation. I mean, really, this full moon in the 27th, 28th of April. Honestly, I mean, guys, you take in consideration if you want to follow astrology or not, but if you are connecting with the story or you're resonating with this reading right now, I really think that you should really pay attention to this week. I mean, to that week of April, to the third week of April. I think that something here is gonna really come to the light, and it's gonna be decisive for you. And it's really gonna help you out to get off this state of mind of actually things are not moving as I thought they would, but something here is taking you to really deblock probably the situation, transit and enter in a new, probably very new energy. What is coming in the outcome, please, for Aries? Wow, Aries. 2 cards. Oof. The Chariot and the Sun, 2 major arcanas. Aries, I have in total 7 arcans in this reading. I have no doubt that during this month, and you started already this month, I think that a lot is going on in your life right now. It's almost like you're feeling this, it's almost like this energy of being hanging on the ceiling. It's almost like, you know, it's not working for you anymore, and I think that things are changing fast and probably drastically, but for the good. I think that this is something maybe that you wanted for a very long time, and I don't think that you were able to get, or you were not able to start or to put a closure to this situation. But what is coming after, let's say, this massive life change, after taking a decision here, I see that you're gonna move, like, it's like, Aries, you're gonna be moving so fast towards the Sun. The Sun in the Tarot is one of the happiest cards you can have of the 78 cards. The Sun, it's that sense of full happiness, fulfillment, I mean, light, you know, much more energy as well. And the Chariot, I mean, the warrior energy, Cancer. We have here Cancer, Leo, Gemini, Pisces energy, and Scorpio energy. The Chariot is the warrior that is going in one direction with all determination, no matter how hard the 2 different horses are pulling him to different directions. He's taking all his strength to guide himself to his final objective here. And his objective is to have maximum happiness, find joy, find knowledge as well, come out of the darkness and really start seeing the sun. You know, when we're looking at the death card, what you can see at the back of this card is that there is the sun. Because when we're talking about death, this is not just about something that ends or dies. We're talking here about starting something new as well. And it's almost like Aries, you are like with your chariot going straight for it. And I think that this is the clarity that you were looking for, and that I think that for some time you were really stressed about this truth, about these thoughts that you had, that I think they were really stressing you out because you felt that you could not really move from this. It's almost like you felt like you were in a fork here. Aries was stranded in a fork on the road and he could not move from that fork. And it's almost like suddenly something is happening here. And I gotta say, something is regarding you, of course, and all this identity change, transformation that you're experiencing this month, Aries. And in another factors where I'm sensing with this card is that there are also unexpected things here that are coming, probably even opportunities that are taking you to a new direction that you didn't even think of, Aries. And it's changing you. It's making you help. It's like it's helping you to ascend. To really ascend to yourself. To your new real identity. Or identities. Sometimes we can be more than one. We all have our different sides. I want you just to remember, and you know what, I'm gonna put one extra card right now, and it's gonna be, I want to have with my new deck, which is Tarot Espagnol de Marseille. This is classical Marseille Tarot. The kind of illustrations are different from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck that normally I use. I love the colors of this tarot. I really, if you're interested in these kind of decks, I really invite you to check it out because the colors and they are so right and so it's quite special. And I'll be using it right now to explain. I want to know what is actually stressing you out so much, because I'm just here talking about the story that I'm seeing. But of course, I want to know exactly why this has been this blockage, and that obviously there has been so much stress about this decision that you know you need to take. You are wanting to direct yourself towards, because you know that this is where you have your new sense of happiness. And maybe this could include traveling, Aries. This could definitely mean that your environment during this month or very soon is changing drastically, because maybe you're changing of location, or there is something here that's taking you to a massive move with this chariot. Like you are really physically moving. And it's there where you find that light, where you are like guided to the sun. And I think that this means drastic change for yourself and for people surrounding you, probably even in your home life. I mean, you have Mars in your 4th house. It's like, you know, I mean, you have the axis of 1st house, 8th house, 4th house. These are like really heavy, but foundational houses of ourselves. So when there are important conjunctions or positions between these houses, these are like moments of changes and transitions and truth coming out to the light. And then, Scorpio, this month in Taurus season, it's gonna be and it's gonna feel intense. Because it's like the truth cannot be denied any longer. And I think this is what is gonna come out of the clear. Now, what is coming in this? Why I see that there is a Hangman as an obstacle and this stress with the 9 of Swords and Page of Swords, please, for Aries. Aries, why is this? Devil. So, yeah. Devil and the 5 of Coins here. And I gotta say, it's really quite interesting to see in combination that you have in your present position the Lovers, and exactly what is coming to explain this Hangman in your obstacle, which is crossing these Lovers, is that when you see this card, you see the Lovers. Well, the Devil card is, let's say, the other side of the coin of the Lover's card, and vice versa, of course. So you see there is a couple, right, illustrated in each picture. This is not about gender. Take it as it resonates with you. But there is something here that obviously had come to, or probably a connection, or something that you needed to choose, a life path that you were trying to choose right now, or that you have, or you're starting right now during this month, Aries, that I think it was blocked because there was some codependency issues regarding the situation. I think that you really felt probably financially stuck in the situation, or you felt that there was a lot of things that make you feel almost like chained to this relationship or this situation. And I think that this what has come to be quite uncomfortable and mentally stressful, and almost to the point that I think that you had been feeling, or somebody here has been feeling, the need to rethink about what was this relationship, or what it is this relationship, or what it is this choice that is being presented in your life path. Because it's almost like, Aries, this is the energy that you are trying to deblock right now. The passivity for you right now, it doesn't have a place here any longer. It's like, this is how you start in the reading, and this is actually how you're coming out. Quite different energies. You're not stepping back here. You're actually really taking the step forward this month, because the sense of being chained, or feeling whatever this resonates with you and your life, Aries, but I really think the situation very influential in your life, very, very influential here, is changing, because I think that you felt quite stuck in this situation. You felt that you could not move. Maybe even there was a lot of distancing or coldness, or feeling that economically speaking there were some really issues here that were influencing the situation as well. And I think there was some material attachments even that didn't allow you to move forward into this new path and this fortune that is coming your way. Because this is gonna be a month, Aries, and I want you to remember this, a part of being your birthday, so you're probably gonna get some presents. I really think that there are gonna be some things here, some kind of gifts, or some kind of situations that you're gonna be experiencing the month, that are gonna be like real, almost like gifted surprises. But you're gonna have to be open with it. And I think that what I'm feeling here is that these kind of emotions for Aries right now is like they are not working any longer. and the decision and the liberation that you're starting to feel right now. And I think it's thanks to your own balance here, no? Like finding this own balance in you and this new way of seeing yourself and your worth and your work and your values. It's almost like it's making you grow here, Aries. And it's almost like where you were at until right now, it's not working for you any longer. And this is where you're heading now. Follow the sun, Aries. The sun is with you this month, and I really want you to use this energy. Alright, guys? I hope you enjoyed the reading. I'm leaving my information below if you're interested for a private reading in Spanish, in English, or in French. I'm available for full private readings. And of course, if you like the video, don't doubt to subscribe or click like. And thank you for watching. And I suppose I'll see you next month, guys. Enjoy your birthday, Aries. Bye-bye.